Hello and thanks for joining us for our late night newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. I'm Mark Broome. And we start with some wonderful news on the cultural front for Korea. The country's Baekje Historic Areas, composed of 8 sites like a fortress, royal tombs and temples, have made it onto UNESCO's prestigious list of World Cultural Heritage Sites. Meeting on Saturday for its ongoing 39th session in the German city of Bonn, UNESCO's World Heritage Committee announced that the historic areas dotted around Korea's central region would be inscribed as cultural heritage. The sites are well preserved and contain the relics of the ancient Baekje Dynasty, which ruled the Korean peninsula from 18 BC to its fall in the mid-7th century. With this registration, Korea now has 12 cultural heritage sites listed on the UNESCO list. And staying with the ongoing UNESCO meeting in Germany, Korean civic groups and a handful of US lawmakers are urging UNESCO to think carefully about whether to register around 24 Japanese industrial facilities as World Heritage Sites. There's a great deal of controversy surrounding several of them, as tens of thousands of Koreans were forced to work in those locations during World War II, a fact Japan would rather overlook. Park Ji-won has more.
Gathering in front of the conference hall in Bonn, where the World Heritage Committee meetings are taking place, members of various Korean civic organizations and Koreans living in Germany are campaigning to stop the registration of Japan's controversial industrial facilities. 7 out of 23 industrial facilities that Tokyo once registered as UNESCO World Heritage Sites are notorious for using around 60,000 Korean slave laborers during World War II. The Japanese government says it hopes to commemorate the facility's role in its industrialization from 1850 to 1910, but critics say that by using that time period, Tokyo is purposely leaving out a period when forced labor was used there during Japan's colonial rule of Korea from 1910 to 1945. Regarding such attempts, some U.S. lawmakers have expressed their opposition to the distorted registration. 6 House members, including 7-term lawmaker Michael Honda and 2-term lawmaker Chris Gibson, have sent an official letter to UNESCO World Heritage Chairwoman Maria Boomer. They stress that they are not against Japan's efforts to mark its own history, but say descriptions of the facility's history have to make clear that Koreans as well as wartime prisoners from countries like the U.S., the Netherlands, and Britain were forced to work in such camps. The U.S. lawmakers added that the facility's explanations are incomplete unless they officially recognize the use of slave labor there. They are calling on UNESCO to ask the Japanese government to modify the details of its registration before approving them. Bowing to the weight of pressure from Korea and elsewhere for a more careful consideration, UNESCO says it has decided to push its final vote on the registration back from the originally scheduled date of Saturday to Sunday. Park Ji-won, Arirang News.
Now to the latest developments regarding the outbreak of Middle East respiratory syndrome here in Korea, and another doctor at the Samsung Medical Center in southern Seoul has been confirmed with the MERS virus. This brings the total number of infections in the nation to 185. The latest case comes some 24 hours after a nurse at the same center was confirmed, raising concerns the virus is far from being contained at that specific medical facility. Now, since the MERS outbreak began in late May, 13 health professionals from the Samsung Medical Center have contracted the virus. Out of the 185 people diagnosed in Korea, 41 remain in hospital, with 11 of them in critical condition. 111 people have gone on to make complete recoveries, however, and the number of people subject to quarantine has tumbled from over 2,000 on Friday to just over 1,400 as of this Saturday. In domestic politics now, and the nation's rival parties have reaffirmed their stances over what to do with the revised National Assembly law, which was vetoed by President Park Geun-hye last week. On Saturday, the ruling Saenuri Party confirmed that its lawmakers will not take part in Monday's revote at the National Assembly out of respect for the president's veto. Now, since the ruling party has a parliamentary majority, its refusal to join the vote means the bill will almost certainly be automatically scrapped, as, under the Constitution, revotes on veto bills require the attendance of more than 2/3 of lawmakers. The main opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy, however, is continuing to badger the ruling party to join the vote. The Liberal Party has also criticised the ruling party's infighting over the fate of its floor leader following President Park's veto. The controversial bill, which is aimed at allowing the Assembly to make requests to executive ordinances, was vetoed on the grounds that it threatens the constitutional principle of the division of power. Tens of thousands of Greeks have taken to the streets of Athens ahead of a crucial referendum on the country's bailout offer. Both sides have been holding huge protests in the Greek capital, with an estimated 20,000 people at the Yes demonstration and slightly more at a nearby rally calling for a no vote. Addressing those opposed to the bailout offer, Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras explained why he too will reject the latest bailout proposal. He said that Greeks should vote for dignity by rejecting the austerity imposed by the country's international creditors. Now, slightly away from the no rally, riot police actually clashed with a small group of far-left protesters who were throwing rocks and smashing property in front of the Parliament building. Latest opinion polls suggest Greece is evenly split over the vote, with an Ipsos survey putting yes supporters at 44% and no at 43%. Smartphones are further entrenching themselves into the daily lives of people around the world at the expense of the old type of non-internet connected cell phone. A new report shows smartphone shipments are forecast to reach a staggering 435 million units, or 80% of total cell phones shipped in the final 3 months of this year. The smartphone saturation rate in Korea has led to an explosion in the number of people using their smart devices to buy products online. Data from the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry shows the nation's mobile shopping transaction volume increased 127% last year to reach almost $13.2 billion US. The overall online shopping market, including mobile shopping, expanded 18% to $40.3 billion in 2014. Now, the weather is getting hotter and gradually more sticky here in Korea, which naturally means people want to wear more comfortable clothes, even in the office. And with this in mind, some of Korea's biggest companies have loosened their summer dress code to help their employees stay fresh and focused. Won Ji-hyun has more.
Here in Korea, the term business casual may not be so casual after all, as most men are still required to wear ties and long pants to work, even in the summer. And as we all know, stuffy office wear is no match for the sticky summer heat. That's why more Korean conglomerates are making way for a seasonal dress code called Coolbiz, which originated in Japan in 2005 and came to Korea the following year. Coolbiz is a combination of the words cool and business, and the idea is to help people stay cool when they're at work. Under the summer dress code, office workers don't have to wear a tie, and they can even wear shorts to work.
We decided to try out the Coolbiz dress code, which is appropriate for the hot weather. The policy has improved our workers' efficiency and satisfaction levels in the office.
Workers say baring your knees at work could be a bit awkward at first, but once you get used to it, it can actually improve your focus, and it also helps save energy.
Since people are wearing shorter pants and thinner clothes, we can turn down the air conditioning in the office. It also feels great to wear clothes that allow for better air circulation.
The Coolbiz fashion is quickly becoming one of the season's hottest trends. In fact, a number of Korean malls are already showcasing the style in their displays. The summer dress code will be in place at participating companies until late August or mid-September. Won Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
Now, Team Korea has gotten off to a flying start at this year's Universiade, taking place in Korea's southwestern city of Gwangju. Saturday's action was off to a scorcher as South Korean archer Gi Bo-bae smashed the world record for the women's individual recurve. Gi shot a combined 686 points out of a possible 720, including 42 tens, of which 14 were bullseyes, and that beats the previous world record by 4 points. In judo, Jo Guham grabbed South Korea's first gold medal. He defeated Clement Delvert of France with 3 shidos in the men's under 100 kilogram division. In fencing, Song Jong-hoon took home the gold in men's sabre, beating Russia's Dmitry Danielenko 15-12 for the title. Team Korea is currently second in the medal standings with 2 golds, 2 silver and 1 bronze medal. And to mark the first weekend's action at the Gwangju Universiade, Arirang TV, the channel you're watching right now, has been hosting a special concert called Hello Mr. K at the Athletes' Village.
Arirang TV is known for its outstanding cultural content. This is the reason why we asked Korea's global channel to host a concert for us, so the athletes can enjoy Korean cultural activities firsthand.
Now, organisers say the 2-hour concert gave the athletes a chance to see K-pop performances along with the Korean traditional folk song Arirang. Some 13,000 athletes from 149 countries are in Gwangju through July 14th to compete in the Universiade. Now, before we go, taking a brief look at the weather, and we'll be under partly cloudy skies for the rest of the night. It's going to be a pretty cool night as well, for the time of year at least, with the overnight low dipping to 16 degrees Celsius in Seoul. Sunday is going to be a bright sunny day across much of the country, with daytime highs in the mid to high 20s and 30 degrees in Seoul. But be aware that there will be some light showers in the afternoon. With that, let's take a look at the weather conditions around the world. Well, those are stories we have for you at this hour. For more of the latest, don't forget to check out our website, arirang.co.kr/news, and do download our smartphone application. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.